You are tuned
Yeah.
in again with On the Record with Tiffany and Kevin on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, home of conservative talk radio, where our politics is black first and our identity is the American descendants of the formerly enslaved FBA, foundational black Americans, right? And as we talk about issues of injustice and oppression to the American descendants of the formerly enslaved, we keep in mind Malcolm X's quote, right, which is, "We are not so blinded with our patriotism that we can't face reality." All right. On the last session there, Reg, you brought up something very important, right? Let's go with your
Yeah.
Viagra analogy. I love it.
Yeah. Is that, like our people, we are affected, way more than other ethnic groups out here with kidney disease. And, we don't find
Mm-hmm.
a way to go to the doctor to get screened. We don't find a way, to get kidney health. But like when the Viagra, hey, when that start messing with you, hey, every black man in this doggone country know how to go get that 100 milligram. They know how
Mhm.
to get that 100 milligram. They say, man, we can get that from Walgreens. We can get that from. You don't need no doctor. There's ways around that. They know all the ways around the Viagra, but they don't know how to just walk up into the doctor and say, hey, man, I want to get screened. Go into the clinic. I want to get screened for kidney disease.
Yeah, yeah.
But boy, you let that one thing happen. That like when a man say, hey, this don't normally happen to me. That one time he gonna go, and it just might it just might be something he ate that day, but he gonna go get that check.
You know, and that's fun, but it's true. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's two things that have to happen here. One, because you know, when we took over Texas Kidney Foundation and stepped into our calling here, I I started looking for, and our team started looking for, okay, what is it? Where are the holes? What's happening that that people are not getting the information that they need to get?
Mm-hmm.
hmm,
Well, the first thing that we found was protocols. The kidney disease is diagnosed in stage three once you've been in stage three for 3 months, but it's detected by practitioners in stages one and two. It's simply not. It's being monitored, and they're not telling patients in many cases that they have stage one or stage two of kidney disease or stage three. And in other cases, they're downplaying it. And it's
mm,
in those nuances of not telling them and downplaying it that we have numbers like 55% of people who find themselves in renal failure had no idea they had any stage of kidney disease prior
hmm,
to that.
hmm.
That's
Yes,
how you get a number like that.
yes, yes.
So when we saw that, then we were like, okay, there's a major disconnect here with education and what should be done in terms of the primary care physicians, like because they're the ones who are managing most of this. So
Yeah,
they need to be they need to tell patients in stages one, two, and three, hey, you have kidney disease. It's stage one,
yeah,
and if you continue on this trajectory, you could potentially end up in renal failure. But if you make these changes,
yeah.
it's a
I
game
mean,
changer health wise. You'll never have to go into renal failure.
just go. Just get screened. Screen is like
Transparent.
it's a simple thing, simple process. You know,
Mhm.
um, and that's it. It's just like, like to go back to the reference of the Viagra. It's just like this. It's like, I know you might not want to go to the doctor, to get the Viagra, but you're going to find a way to do it. So a lot of times you go into these little gas stations, get that big red pill. They say, hey, this works just like Viagra. So, so it's just like going to a clinic versus a doctor. You go to gas station, go to the clinic. You don't have to go to the doctor. Just go get screened. The
Exactly.
same thing, the same price, the same steps.
And
Oh
we
God,
also have to
this is
You just got
know
to
good.
take it. You just
hey,
got to take it a little bit more serious. You know what I mean? Take it that serious, like you would take. If that's not working, you're gonna take that. You're gonna be, hey man, I got to get this fixed. But it's just like kidney disease, because kidney disease can affect why it's not working
it
sometimes.
can affect
So
everything.
everything have to
And
be in balance. So yeah, this get screened, and you'll be surprised that they can head off and ward off some of the stuff that some of the complications that it could bring because you caught it early. So never be
Mm-hmm.
afraid to go to the doctor, man. Especially Black people, we
Mhm.
for some reason will not go to the doctor, man. I do that on stage. I say, white people, they like this. I said it before. They find a knot on their leg, they gonna go to the doctor to get it checked. Black people, we find a knot on our leg, we gonna feel on the other leg to see if a knot on that. If it's not on both legs, you're like, well, cool, it's supposed to be there. Now you walk
Mm-hmm.
around with cancer in both your legs for 6 years.
Uh,
you know,
Yeah. And
get it got
didn't even
get it got
realize.
fixed.
Well,
Yeah,
the
knock it
best
out.
thing about this is that, uh, the positive about what's going on is that when people are having their yearly blood work, this
Mm,
is simply a matter of asking your doctor,
yes.
hey, what is my estimated glomerular filtration rate? What's my kidney function? Am I functioning at 100%, at 70%, at 6? What's my kidney
Right.
function?
Right.
And let them tell you. And am I
Yes.
at some stage of kidney disease? Ask them. And they will, most practitioners are not going to be like, no, I'm not telling you that. They'll tell you. But you're
Mm,
going to have to ask. Like some agents, we're going to have to take some agency here since that has not been done. Since simply telling you is not something that has been done in the past, and there's not a requirement for them to do so, then ask.
so
Take
let
the
me
time
add
to
let
ask
me
because
add
most people
something
are
to
actually
that.
getting that blood work done. A lot of people are getting that blood work done in their annual checkup. They're simply
yes.
not understanding what the blood work is saying, and year over year that their kidneys are declining. So
Yeah.
that right there, simply asking some questions and
Yeah.
taking control of your care team, a person can change the trajectory of their health right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Amen.
part of that is to know the numbers and what the numbers mean, right?
Mhm.
And the other part of that is, unfortunately, is that we have to be proactive. So I think the question that I'd asked us earlier was, what is the ultimate outcome we would want? And what the ultimate outcome that I would want is let's say is twofold, right? One is for patients to be as familiar with chronic kidney numbers as they are with their blood pressure numbers, right? That they know what EGFR is, that they know what an albumin to creatinine ratio and what that means, right? And I always say this, I've said it multiple times during the shows, that if I told you my blood pressure was 140 over 110 or 120, most people they wouldn't know exactly what that meant, but they would do, Kevin, you're in trouble, man. You got to do something about that, right? Because those numbers are high. And so I want it to be that ubiquitous, right? And so the other thing that I want to be that ubiquitous part of it is that primary care physicians are informing people of what their kidney numbers are. Because what most people don't realize is that if you have kidney problems, right, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have cardiovascular, which is your heart, right? You're going to have some type of liver because all of those internal organs work together, and there's going to be some type of where something in the body has to try to make up for what the kidneys are doing.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated internal system. So that's the second. And then the third thing is that we have some of the smartest people in the planet working in the space of kidney disease, cardiovascular, all diabetes. Some of the smartest people on the planet or have found solutions to a lot of these issues in the form of medical therapeutics, in the form of social interventions, right? There are solutions to this, and the people who
Yeah.
need it the most simply don't have it.
Well, there are
Or they don't.
viable options.
Yeah,
There's
there
not
are
it's
viable
not a
options.
cure, but there are some really great options that can help you slow down the progression of kidney disease so you don't end up in renal failure. But it requires that we take some action. And
And you,
on on the part of patients, if my doctor is not going to tell me what my numbers are, I'm going to ask.
Hmm.
That's my right to know. That's your right to know what's going on with your body and what's happening internally with you. So, I really implore people to engage that doctor or practitioner and become what your position is in this, and that's the head of your care team. Your doctor, your practitioner works for you, and their job is to be as is to be a help to you and help you maintain good health or attain good health if you don't have it.
All right.
And you can only get there if you engage with that person because they really have a pool of knowledge that you don't have.
All right, Tiffany. This week, was it this week or last week, that probably one of my favorite singers of the late '60s, early '70s, Tina Turner, passed away, and she
First of all, Tina sang more than just the late 60s. See, this is why I don't deal with you. Because Tina was like the comeback queen. I mean, this woman, she really was an icon for all of us, for women, uh, being entrepreneurial, taking ownership of their lives, and the fact that you can change the game, even if you're going through the worst of times. I mean, this woman was getting her behind beat and decided, you know what, I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna take my name, and I'll leave. He can have it all. I'll take my name and I'll build myself back up from there. And she did, you know, and did a lot for women in general, and a lot for women in the music space. You know, I mean, she was phenomenal, and she really was simply the best. And there was only one Tina out there, and she said, you know, she had a problem with her blood pressure, and ended up going into renal failure, and her handsome husband gave her a kidney. Hint, hint, Kevin, because if that goes down, then you probably need to be
I don't
doing
know
that.
what all
Yeah.
this attitude you're giving me. You may not be getting one.
I don't know. That's enough good enough to be in me. Right?
but
Yeah.
but that speaks to, my opinion about the system itself, right?
Yeah.
Is that oftentimes people of means and fame, etc., right? Don't I mean they aren't getting the information earlier enough, right? Reg, I think you.
Nobody's getting the information.
Yeah, Reg, I think when you were sharing, like in a couple episodes back, you were sharing when you had found out about your numbers. We were talking about knowing your kidney numbers. You went back and looked at some old lab work, and you could see where your numbers were steadily going down, and they still haven't.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's the thing, man. Uh, another thing about our people, man, we think we know everything.
Hmm.
We don't want to ask questions. Doctor tell you well your EGFR is, and we'll cut the doctor. Well, yeah, well, doctor, I already know what my educational generational federation of random is. But what is?
Like, no, it's not what
But this give it to me plain, doctor. What's my the old doctor? Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. You'll EGFR. Hey, but we don't. Hey, look, if you don't, we're not doctors. We are not doctors. So don't be afraid to ask questions.
Hmm.
There are no stupid questions, dumb questions. That stupid people and dumb people. But ask the questions that if you don't know, then
Hmm.
you don't know. You need to get that information, and once you have that information, because I didn't have it at first. My doctor, and he's supposed to be one of the best doctors, but he didn't tell me everything. I don't know if he was trying to hold me, stop me from being afraid or whatever. But when I went to this other doctor, he laid it down to me. He's like, man, look, you're gonna need a kidney. So this is what we have to do. Put you on the list. If you know somebody that want to donate, you don't have to have a perfect match. We do a swap program at USC. So if you need, we need to get this done. And I mean, he was right. Anyways, no time. I mean, soon as he told me that, he was already on the phones calling his friend at USC, getting everything prepared, and say, look, you might have to come in and do dialysis, but right now you don't. But when it was time for me to do it, he said, hey, come on in, let's get it done.
Yeah.
And everything worked out. So that's the process. The process, you have to know and you have to ask questions, because if you don't, you're just assuming that your EGFR stands for something else That's not the case, man.
And
These things,
to
so
something else, to one of your points there, Rich, I have heard many doctors say that they didn't want to upset the patient.
oh really?
That is a mentality of a number of doctors that they don't.
Mm,
It's not that people are out to do something nefarious.
right.
They they don't want to throw more stuff at you because often people have multiple things wrong with them.
Yeah.
And so they don't want to do that. But I implore doctors and practitioners, nurse practitioners, whoever is your care team partner, I implore you guys to be transparent.
Yeah.
Transparency is the word of the day because for patients, uh, we're not wallflowers.
Yes.
We want to live and want to live a quality life. There's no
Hmm.
it's not useful to live and have to be tethered to a machine for 3 to 4 hours a day, every day, ill at the end of it and drained physically. Not everybody is reg. I know you weren't drained, but a lot of people are. And it's just not uh, worth my me feeling okay today to be completely decimated health wise 10 years from now.
Yes.
A
Yes.
good moment today is not worth decimation 10 years from now.
That's right.
So
That's right.
we need to be transparent and not treat us with this matriarchal or patriarchal BS stuff that we can't
Hmm.
take hearing that our health is bad. We came over to this country in the hull of boats as slaves. I know doggone well we can take hearing that we have diabetes and need to
Yeah.
take all we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
but that's the other thing, though, Tiff, is that there are medications available
that's right.
Yeah.
currently in 2023. They are available that can improve and mitigate the deterioration of your kidneys, and then also
Yes.
have all other kind of benefits. That's the part that drives me bananas, right? And that's the
Yes.
part why I'm just like, hey, did you know about this medication? No, right? I'm personally shocked.
Many practitioners don't know about medications. This is just like any other job. It's like any other job. You have people that know that love to read, and you walk into if you walk into a Best Buy, you'll walk into a Best Buy and run into that person that loves electronics. They know everything about every product that's in that store. And
Yeah.
yet you can walk in tomorrow and run into their counterpart Mike, and Mike don't know nothing about nothing because Mike
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
no interest
Yeah.
in being there for any other reason other than to collect his paycheck from Best Buy.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same
Yes.
thing with this field as with any other field. You have doctors that are like our Dr. Mazzani that are just on it. If there's something that's going on with you that is crazy out of the box something, he will try to figure out what that is. He will
But
spend
they're not gonna know it if you don't go.
what
If you
is
don't
it?
go, they
Yeah,
won't know.
How can we fix you? How can we
yeah.
help you? Well, everybody, you and I both know we have been to other places and everybody's not Mazzani.
Well, hold on, Tiffany, because you're going, Mazzani's going to hear this and get a big head. But I agree with Red. You're not going to know if you don't go to the doctor and
Yeah.
get
That's
up.
right.
You got to
That
get,
that
you got
that 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 should be our
You gotta
slogan.
ask.
You're not
You're
gonna
not gonna
know
find
until you
Mazzani
go.
that are gonna just tell you. You gotta ask.
yeah,
That
you're
should be
not
our
going to
slogan, y'all. You're not gonna know unless you go.
Mm-hmm.
know.
That's the new motto, Red. You're not gonna know unless you go.
That's
Uh,
right.
And
That's
everybody's
right.
not
That's
Mazzani.
right.
So, mhm.
That's
all
right.
right.
We don't know, man. We do not. I wouldn't have never. My wife used to tell me, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with me. You never know, man. You never know. Because one thing they told me, I know my chiropractor told me, say, it's one thing about it. You're not supposed to walk around in pain. If you got any kind of pain, something is wrong with your body. Because when you was a kid, you had pain. just because you get older don't mean you have to have pain. Something is off in your body. So, that's what you have to do. You have it's medicine time right there, 9 o'clock. 99 is I take care of the kidneys. 99 is medicine time. You won't know unless you go. 99 is medicine time.
You got you need to take over and start making up slogans for people. You got a new business.
It is, baby. It is.
Run Hallmark out of work.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, people just I'm telling you, man, what I want everybody to get out of this is, just go and have regular checkups. I mean, if you get a kidney, you get screened, but go and get regular checkups, man, because anything can be headed off if they catch it early, and it could be simple as changing of your diet, can it could be simple as that. So don't never be afraid, man. Courage are those who are afraid but go anyway. So that's what I leave you with.
And you've been listening to On the Record with Kevin and Tiffany on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, home of conservative talk radio.